This is the Faders Up Podcast.
Welcome to the Faders Up Podcast. I'm Czar.
It's your boy Oshay.
And this is a podcast about pro audio and beyond. If you got a question you want answered on the podcast, you can reach us at fadersuppodcast@yahoo.com. Don't forget to rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Music. And all guests and hosts that appear on the show will be in the show notes. So this is the start of season 6. We are back. And it feels like we've left because, yep, we've definitely left. I checked this out. We only did 4 episodes last year, which is crazy. But
we sorry, y'all. We so sorry. Please forgive us.
But if you did listen to the last episode we did in season 5, you know that we both had a lot going on. But yeah, we are definitely back. I just came back from NAMM and talked to a lot of people who was interested in coming on. So we've definitely got a guest list that we need to fulfill this season for sure. This episode we're going to be talking about is hardware companies making plugins the new trend in pro audio. And to help with that, we've got producer Mikey made it coming back for his second episode now. What's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Insert the tag, please. Hell yeah, Mikey made it. Damn right. I had to do it myself. We didn't get that loaded in the cart before we started this thing. Hey man, we're glad to be back. Finally met Oshay. I've been hearing Oshay on the podcast, but last time Oshay didn't get a chance to be with us though. But I'm glad to be in the mix with Oshay, man. Back with Czar. And hey man, it's been a vibe, man. Pre-show we were just talking about a whole lot of stuff. I told Czar to record it, but he didn't do it. So y'all just have to imagine what we talked about. It was a good conversation.
Again.
It was a good conversation though. But I'm excited to talk about this, man, because I'm really a fan of plugins. I am a plugin whore, and I thought it was a very good topic for me to come in on, though. So thank you guys for having me.
No problem. I'm a little late with this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because we got to do it. Oh, the sound effect didn't play. Are you kidding me?
Look, I was nervous. I'm like, what are we about to do?
Here we go. I was late as hell.
Turn up.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
We'll fix that in post.
Right.
Or, let me stop lying. Czar will fix it in post. Let me not say we.
That's funny.
All right. So, man, before we go any further and get into our regular segment of who's been pushing faders up, got to acknowledge the passing away of Larissa J, one of our fellow Nashville musicians and artists who was very active in the community, very active in the Black community as well. Thus, she was saw that she was the only Black woman to have a residency on Broadway, which, if you really think about that, is
that's dope.
Pretty huge. But yeah, she passed away at the end of 2024, and man, that one hurt because every time I saw her, she was always smiling, always happy, and I've always said that she's one of the hardest people I knew, hardest working people that I knew, because we all dream of doing music full time, and she is one of the few people I know that was actually doing music full time. She played at the airport all the time, which we always joke that I always fly in too early or too late to catch her. But so I know you knew Larissa a little bit, didn't you?
Not very well.
I know you've crossed paths though. You had to have.
Yeah. We've definitely crossed paths. In all the tributes that I've seen, on social media, like they resonate. Is like there was not one post that I saw that I'm like, really? Like everything was like, nope, that sounds right. Oh, that sounds right. And I feel bad sometimes because I don't always, my memory's not the best. So I can't remember a specific interaction we've had, but I know we've crossed paths. And like, I may not always remember what happened with someone, but I'll remember the emotion, how I feel. And definitely, when I heard the news, definitely, felt some kind of way because she was good people, man. So, yeah.
She's definitely. I've had her in the studio a couple times, just recording some stuff for me to use for content. And I mean, one of her latest songs. What is the name of it? Mama's Gotta Do. I can't think of the name of it, but she recorded that song in the studio with me. At least just when she had just kind of as a demo, and then it was cool to see her actually put a full production to it and put that song out a few years later.
Man, I just want to say I didn't know her, but when you sent me like the one sheet for the podcast, I definitely looked her up. And I checked out some of her music. I was like, a beautiful voice though, very talented, man. And I was just like, wow. She was, she would travel from city to city, and it's kind of like, how we came to this point. She was on the road, and I, prayers out to her family though. But I just want to interject, like right here, man, like, don't wait to put your music out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is a good thing to like. You never know when it's gonna be your last day, man. None of us know, and so like, don't hold on to that music, man. Share your talents with the world. And I know us as musicians and as creative people, we keep a lot of this music to ourselves because it ain't ready yet, it ain't perfect yet. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just want to tell hey man, don't leave your legacy on your hard drive. You know what I'm saying? Just like put that music out, man. So, but shouts out to the legacy that she left behind that we can all now listen to it and remember her. And she will live on forever, though. But I saw some interviews with her dad's a pastor, and so mom's first lady, and so they've been taking it very well, as best as they can. And I like what her dad said was just like, we want to remember her and like doing what she loved. And I just think it's a good thing though. So man, just a message to everybody, man. Like, don't take things for granted, and use your gifts, man. Share them with the world, man. I'm glad she did that before she left here.
For sure, man. And they even just made me think the unifying power that music has, you know what I'm saying, to like help bring us all together. Not to stay on a somber note, I'll just hit the point real quick, but so we all know about the recent, plane helicopter crash in DC. We know about the remarks by the leader of our country. And it's all fun and games until he hits you. You know what I'm saying? And so
absolutely.
One of my former coworkers was one of the victims on that flight, right? And so just seeing the outpour of thank yous and every single student, best math teacher ever. And so just seeing that legacy, right? Like at the end of the day, what are we leaving behind? You know what I'm saying? And so music can be one of them things that brings people together, even if we don't agree on everything. Maybe it at least brings us close enough together to sit and have a conversation and see if we can, move forward together. So shout out to Larissa J. Shout out to Sarah Bass. Prayers for each of their families, friends, and communities that are impacted by their absence.
Amen.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to having her on the podcast too, and just telling her story from, because like a lot of people, like I said, everybody wants to do music full time, but her doing music full time with 4 kids is just incredible to me. Like that's, I really want her to come on and tell her story and just talk about that, and hopefully motivate, other people to say that, hey, I can do this.
Yeah, you can, for sure.
We're going to move into our regular topic of who's been pushing faders up, where we briefly discuss what we've been working on. I don't know. Are we going to talk about who's been or how we've been pushing faders up recently, or for the past 4 months we've been gone?
I mean, we can hit it. Well, never mind. Pause.
That's what she said.
We can address that topic however you like. I'll just kick it off. I would say 2024 definitely was probably the least active I've been on the production side of things as far as mixing records, making beats. But it's been the the most productive I've been on the DJing end. So yeah, last year was a great year for DJing. Did several weddings. At a basically, for lack of a better word, had a residency at a spot in Antioch where I was doing off the hook karaoke for like a month and a half weekly. That was dope. So yeah, I'm just looking to build on that this year. So I switched booking platforms that I use for my wedding gigs. Already got booked 2 gigs last week, so super excited about growing the DJ business. DJ Lurik, if y'all did not know. Yeah, just applied to host an event. I'm not going to give all the details, but just applied to host an event with Airbnb experiences. That turnaround time, that's like 8 weeks just to hear back from them. So keeping fingers crossed on that. And other than that, man, no, haven't been mixing many records, but I am jumping back into production. So I finally got, for me, my perfect machine and Logic workflow. Like, it's a hella bunch of YouTube videos saying ultimate workflow, best workflow, but I'm like, and it's cool. I've learned something from each of them, but they all left me hanging, wanting more. I finally found what works for me. So I'm super excited to jump back on these beats and pursue sync opportunities this year.
Man, look, you're going to have to enlighten me on your machine process, bro, because I'm a machine user as well, man. So I'm curious to see, like, how you've integrated your workflow into Logic for sure. We're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, I do have a YouTube video that I'm working on, but long story short, I figured out a way to use machine in machine mode, so not have to go into MIDI mode, but to use machine in machine mode and fully sequence in Logic without the whole dragging and dropping thing.
Dude, that's where I'm at with it. Like I'm dragging and dropping.
Bruh, I ain't doing that. I hate that. And so I've been trying to figure out, is there, like, what is the best way? Because I don't want to lose the features of machine where I can browse on the interface, where I can use scale mode, I can use chord mode. So I figured out how to keep all of that and sequence in Logic Pro.
Yeah, nah, dog, you got to hit me the game, dog.
I got you.
I'm in Ableton, but I'm pretty sure it's probably kind of the same in some fashion.
I got you. What about you, Czar? How you been pushing faders up?
So let's see. From the last episode we did, that was September. What did I do? October. Well, not really audio related, but I did go to Lisbon for my birthday.
Twin.
Yes, right. We got the same birthday. Yeah, I went to Lisbon for my birthday. That was something that was on my bucket list. And really, I'm trying to, ever since my brother passed away, I've been trying to check something on my bucket list every year. So glad to get that done. I went to AES New York, which I don't know. This might have been the last AES, or maybe definitely the last AES for me. It's not really worth the time and travel for it. Like the year before, was it 2023? I went and came back the same day, which worked out really well. Last year I stayed one night and came back the next day. So, I mean, New York, you know, I got my hotel hookup, but I mean, hotel rooms are so expensive in New York, and the AES show really isn't that big. And I'm also kind of like, the AES show is in October. I'm also kind of like, I'm going to see all y'all in NAMM in January anyway. So yeah, that's probably my last AES I'm going to, unless I just get a ridiculously cheap Southwest flight or something to do it. But I mean, to tell you, I think I recorded a little bit of content, but I didn't even share any content from AES. I don't know. I just didn't think it was worth it. What I've been doing recently, a lot of plugins I've been reviewing. I just put out the Waves Sync VX review that I did, reviewing a bunch of Heritage Audio native plugins they've got coming out, which is really what sparked the concept for this episode.
Yeah, I saw the Waves joint though. You always got me spending money. I can't stand you. It's like, damn, do I need this? But I already had the vocal line though, so I was just like, yeah, I was definitely interested.
People want me to compare it, so I did. I am going to do a video comparing that to Vocaline because I do have Vocaline. I had Vocaline Ultra, and Synchro Arts reached out to me. It was like, yeah, Ultra is old. That's legacy. And I didn't even realize it because I don't use it that much. So Vocaline Pro 6 is what's comparable to Vocaline Ultra from years ago. So I got that downloaded and installed. So I'm going to be doing a comparison between those two. What else? I just came back from NAMM. Man, I didn't share any content from NAMM either, really. I don't know. I kind of wasn't feeling it. I don't know. It takes, I've been doing this so long, it takes a lot to impress me. So when I walk around NAMM and see a new microphone or a new LA2A or a new 1176, it's just like, oh, you've made a mic pre. Cool. Oh, you've made a LA2A. Cool. You know, like, oh, you've cloned another U87. Cool. Like, all right. But I did see some cool stuff though. And now I will say it didn't feel like there was the normal crowd at NAMM this year as it normally is. And I just say that because I didn't really have to wait in line to talk to people. Normally it takes me 2 days to see everything, talk to everybody I need to talk to. But this year I was able to do it all in one day. I got to see everybody I needed to see, saw everything I needed to see all within one day. So I was really surprised by that because if you have been to Winter NAMM in Anaheim, it is huge and takes over the whole convention center. So the only thing I didn't get to do that I kind of forgot about to see if what they call the basement was open. That's where all the Chinese brands are with all the knockoff U87s and all the knockoff.
That's funny.
Knowing what all the gear looks like, it's just funny to walk through there and be like, oh, wow, that looks exactly like a Audio-Technica, 2020 or whatever.
So do these brands actually go down there and look and see like, hey, it looks like our stuff there. What you doing there, buddy?
What you got there?
Yeah, like, what you got there?
I don't know.
That's funny.
Because really since COVID, they hadn't been open. So I don't know if it was open this year or not. I forgot to check, but it's definitely hilarious to walk through there and see just all of the clones that, if you know gear, looks exactly like you know what it is when you see it.
Right. So yeah, the basement is sponsored by Temu.
Damn.
Bro, every time I download that app, I end up deleting it, man.
It's funny though, like the Temu booth got every knockoff piece of gear that you could think of. Like I can see it. Bro. Temu got a booth at NAMM. I'm here for it.
Shout out to Help Me Devon. I met him at NAMM year before last year. They're supposed to come on the podcast. It was funny meeting him because when I saw his podcast, I was like, I thought we had the only black podcast in pro audio. But on his podcast, I saw a clip where they had a Temu TLM 103 U87, and I forgot what the other one was. It was hilarious.
Not a Temu. Not a Temu 103. Damn.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But
man, I bet dude's cool though. He seems like he's a cool dude. I want to meet, bro.
The last thing I've got Triton Audio reached out to me and they're sending me their latest product, which, well, I just said takes a lot to impress me. This is actually impressing me. It's a compressor, but it looks like one of those like inline boosters. So
from Cloud?
Yeah, it plugs directly into your microphone. So it's meant for like podcasting, or I mean, really you can use it on whatever, but being able to you can plug it directly into your mic pre on your interface, or you can plug it directly into your microphone. Well, that's
Shure did that with the SM7.
with the SM7B.
Yes,
There's a compressor in it.
No, well, they put a pre inside of it to boost the gain.
Okay, yeah, I know about that, but this is an actual compressor, though.
Okay, no. But I was just talking about like how we're getting to that thing where you don't need like the inline boosters anymore.
Yeah.
Like SM Shure was just like, you know what, we're just gonna add a boost in here, and we're just gonna charge you another $100. How about that?
Pretty much. Yeah, this is an actual opto compressor though, so I'm excited to get it and try it out, because especially for like podcasting, or if you were really portable with your setup, being able to add a compressor just by connecting it directly to the mic. It sounds like one of those things. It's like, how come nobody else thought about this? So,
yeah, I mean, because usually I think you do everything in post. Maybe was there really a need for that? I mean, I just really feel like we're creating products now that you just to say we have it in a way. Honestly, I mean, like, who doesn't really do any post on their podcast, though? I don't know if any people that really just, we're going to record the podcast and just put it out. So I don't really see the practical need for that. Now,
you'd be surprised if you listen to the podcast.
That is also true. Now, I will say this: in an application where, say you're recording something live, like a broadcast, and you're going out, and it's not going to be any post, and you don't have, like, you're not going through a mixer or something that has like compressors or anything on it. Now that may be a great application for that, because I've done a lot of TV stuff where you wish you had a little more control, like some dynamic stuff. Like, man, I wish I just had a nice little compressor right now. But a lot of times you got a board that's very minimal. It's like you don't have a lot of bells and whistles on it. It's probably like a 3-band EQ and, like, on and off switch and faders. And like, that's it. And you wish you had like a little compressor to kind of control the dynamics. Now, in that sense, I can see that, but not really. Podcasting, I just don't really see that in that application, though. I think that's something that was geared towards podcasting, but it has practical applications in other areas, though.
Yeah, we will, once I review it, we'll definitely check it out and see what it's talking about. All right. Mike, did you talk about how you've been pushing faders up?
Not yet, man. So just me, just getting back into, man, kind of like Oshay, man. We're just trying to get back into making YouTube videos. I started back on my sample pack review game. So, man, I've been bringing that back, but this time I used to do the sample pack reviews. Those are on YouTube. If y'all want to go check that out. But just going through Splice, finding a sample pack, just kind of seeing if it's worth the credits or not. We go through some sounds, and then this one I finally did an episode where I make a beat out of the pack, and then yeah, man. So I'm just picking like random packs. Like, I'm just like, hey, man, let's see what this pack is, what's inside of it. And then so that's kind of like one episode. Then I got another episode where I take you through the whole beat making process, to where I pick a loop out of it, build around the loop, add my own instruments into it, and then flesh it out, and then I go mix it and everything and put the song out. But that's been cool. I've been back on that, so that was really dope. I was happy and excited to get back to that. Been got good reviews from that one, so I thought that was really cool. Just really getting back into finishing beats. I'm notorious for making beats and never finishing them. So it was just like, when I was talking about don't leave your legacy on your hard drive, those are messages for me. So because I'm notorious for just starting. I got so many beats on my hard drive that I get kind of like the 8 to 16 bars, and then it's just like I get to like arranging it, and it's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take a break from this, so I'm gonna go start on something else, and I never go back to it.
Yeah.
So
man, you know what, man? So one way you use Ableton, you're not on Logic, but Ableton probably has this same feature where you can customize in Logic, you can customize the behavior at startup. So, for example, you can change it by default, it's going to start a new project. But you can also tell it to every time you open up Logic, you want to open up the most recent project. So at least that way, it kind of reminds you, hey, you forgot about me. Like
I'm sitting here. Yeah, I mean, but me, I'm that type of person.
You gonna close that session
you just
immediately?
New.
Oh, hey, bro, check this out real quick. I just figured out how to do this the other day. So Machine got a Vegas mode feature where it can just
change the color on the pad.
Yeah. So
what?
Yeah,
is that the only two colors?
Nah. It keeps doing it. Like, so it'll change the color.
It's got a cycle because I think it has the colors of each
it changed
each group
too.
Yeah, each group has a different color to it, and so it's probably cycling through the group colors.
Yeah, so that's a cool little just parlor trick. Something especially if you got kids, man, just put that on, man. Be like, I'll be right back, man. I'm going to get something to eat.
The Vegas mode. I mean, you got to show me how to do that.
But then they're going to want to. But then they're going to want to touch it.
I mean, they can touch it. It ain't going to do nothing. Like, in Vegas mode, you can't just start making beats.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Mikey. What you got? A Machine Studio or MP3 or micro?
Studio.
Oh, it's real easy, bro. Just hold the browse sampling left and right arrows. Hold those 4 buttons when you turn it on.
Hold on. What now? Say it one more time.
All right, so in the Machine Studio, so in the top left corner, hold the browse button, the sampling button, the left arrow, and the right arrow, and then turn it on.
Up, down, left, right, A,
B, select, start. Yo, how can we still remember that?
Hey,
yes, sir.
Hey, hold on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's nasty.
Man, life can be so simple sometimes, man. Sometimes we just gotta unplug from all this craziness and just be like, you know what? I like that my machine can light up. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
That's cool. Vegas mode. What? You know what? I am just gonna leave my machine on that until I open up that session again. Yo,
don't burn your LCD screen out, man.
Man, you heard me though. Nah, but that's dope though. My kid's gonna be in here a little later pushing on it, I guarantee it. But back to the beast though. So yeah, that was one reason why I never finished a lot of beats when I was kind of only in Machine, because sequencing in Machine sucks.
Yeah, facts.
Like trying to make an arrangement in Machine is ass. If Machine ever comes up, if Native Instruments ever come up with a way to make fleshing your beats out linear like it is in like a normal DAW, oh my God, like everybody and their mama will want Machine. And so like I wish Native Instruments, tag them in this podcast, fix y'all shit, man. Like we sick of it. Like we want a timeline. Just give me a timeline. I can put my shit on a timeline like normal people. You know what I'm saying? But I will, because, and Oshay, I don't know if your workflow's like this. It's like you got to make all these patterns, and then you got to take out this and that pattern, got to take out this and that pattern, and then all this. Now, I will say it definitely does lend itself to being more creative, especially when it comes to transitions and making different sections in a beat. Like, we're in the era now where beats switch up now. You get that switch up. Now, Machine's like great for that because you got the same instruments. You can go on a whole different pattern or a different group, and you got the same instruments, so you can drag and drop them. But what I also like about Machine is the features that you can use inside of it, to where it's like, okay, if I got this beat, I can take the master out of that beat, export it as a whole WAV file, and being able to manipulate the whole file now in the whole ecosystem.
Oh, bro, when I share this with you, how to use machine and logic, man, yeah, bro, you gonna be like, man, what's your Cash App, man? I need to send you something right now, bro.
Just for that, yeah, I feel you, bro. Because I'm big on sampling myself. Like, I love making loops and then taking those loops and flipping those loops and making like a whole different beat out of it. So a lot of times I use Machine for that. I just export everything out of Machine and I just don't put any drums on it. Then I go into Ableton and chop it up like if I got a loop pack or something. You know what I'm saying? But I just make my own loops.
And see, that's annoying, like having a jump back and forth where you can have Machine and Logic, or in your case, Ableton, open at the same time. So basically, Machine is only my sound module and my controller. I'm doing all sequencing and mixing and Logic. And the super dope thing, because one thing I like about Logic, I love Apple Loops. Like, and one of the reasons I love it is because every other producer got their nose up so high in the air, like Apple Loops are beneath them. I'm like, okay, y'all go ahead, do what you do.
I'm gonna make this banger on you.
I'm gonna cook. You know what I'm saying? So
let him cook. Hey man, you got to add that to the sound effects machine. Let him cook.
Yep.
Hey man, but on the fin, I mean we going in though. Czar, you gonna have to edit this out because it's gonna be about 2 hours. But the last way I've been pushing on faders though. Shout out to Sunstorm Studios here in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to all my homies over at Boom Kang, media company, media group productions, all that. We have started the Memphis version of Tiny Desk. And it is super dope. It's called Sunstorm Sessions. Black-owned studio here in Memphis by one Walter Person. Walter owns Sunstorm. I came to him with an idea about putting Memphis artists and just local artists on the map because my boy Chris Henning, he's the CEO of Boom Kane, and he's the camera guy. Like he does a whole lot of stuff, NBA, news outlets, man. He's like the guy when it comes to like recording video. Him, Tim Meyer, we got a whole team, Breezy, Doc, Stanley Payne. Like we just got a whole crew of folks, man, because we all came from news, but we got a love for music. And so, man, I brought this vision to Walter. I was like, hey, man, with your studio, excuse me, with your studio and the cameras that we got, man, we can bring bands in here and we can just do our own Tiny Desk kind of feel. And so it's taking off. We got a number of acts that come through. So we bring the bands in. They do like 3 to 5 songs. They get an interview. We record everything. We mix it. We put it out. And we just really want a platform for artists to come and that they will have, we all know content is king, right? And so what we found that a lot of musicians, they either have good music, but the video is ass, or people have good video, but the mixing is ass. So it's just like, this is the one place that you can get both in one package. And so we got the audio, we got the visual. So I just need everybody to go like, comment, subscribe, check out Sunstorm Sessions. That's SON. STORM, Sunstorm Sessions on YouTube, man, and just enjoy the music, man. And we just and if you're a Memphis artist, reach out to us. We trying to put Memphis artists on the platform, and we just want to give y'all a good place to grow, and people can find you, and people can find you with great content behind you. And so this is the mission of the Sunstorm Session. So we launched that earlier last year, and so man, that's really how I've been pushing the faders lately.
All right, that's what's up. Yeah, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Thank you.
And I just subscribed to the YouTube channel too.
Yeah, man, look at them visuals, bro. That video crispy as hell. So, man, my man, Walter's again, he's the studio owner, so he's like lead engineer. So I come in and man, I help him do that, and I do a little mixing for the interviews and stuff. But and I'm glad to be a part, man. It's definitely a collaborative effort. And so I'm happy that we're doing something as a group, and we're killing that stereotype about black people can't work together. Damn what y'all talking about. We killing that. Like we got everybody. We leave our egos at the door. It ain't no big eyes or little U's there, man. We just all in to make the music happen and make it happen for the artists, dude. So hopefully we can take this show on the road and we can come to Nashville. And so actually I think we had a couple artists from the Nashville area that should be on the pod on the session though. So
that's what's
interesting.
Dope. All right, we're going to get into our main topic of is hardware companies making plugins the new trend.
Hell no.
We'll start off with that question there because every year in NAMM, I feel like I see a trend. Last year, I feel like I saw a lot of hardware that was plug-in controllable. Some companies like West Audio has been doing that forever, but it seems like more and more people is doing that now. And this year, I feel like I've seen more hardware companies get into making plugins.
And let me preface this. I say hell no because I don't feel like it's a trend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it's a trend. I just feel like it's a money opportunity for them. And I feel like where we are right now, we're in this space to where everyone is trying to find where the money resides.
Mm-hmm.
And plugins just have been a way for hardware companies to increase their bottom line. And I'm not saying it's bad. But what I'm saying is I'm just like everyone's kind of find their lane because everybody's not Czar, okay? Everybody can't afford a $3,000 compressor or a $3,000 mic pre. Everybody ain't got it like Czar. So I'm just saying.
Let me ask you. Okay, so no, I do agree. Now that I say that out loud, is it the new trend, or well, I guess the question I'm going to ask you: do you think it'll become a trend? Let's go with that question.
Oshay, I'm gonna let you go in on this one because
I don't have too much to add. Because our listeners know, Czar know, like I'm not a big hardware guy anyway. Not that I don't appreciate it. It's just like you said, everybody not Czar. Like, hey, I'm rocking Apollo Twin in the box VSTs and waves and all that.
What you said, man.
I do think it's smart. Kind of like you said, it is a money play, but it is very similar to Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy. They're all the same company. It's just different tiers. You know what I'm saying? Different clientele. So I think, hardware company like, hey, how do you make your product if you want to? Now, there is a certain thing to be said about the exclusivity of a product, right? And sometimes the exclusivity is like, you're still making the money, so you're still not losing, but it's like, hey, if you want to make your material accessible to the second tier consumer, you know what I'm saying, what would that look like? And I think that's where the plug-in conversation comes in.
Now, I think I'm throw some of these companies out because I can't think of a hardware company that has started making plugins that I guess I'll say hasn't been good at it. And so when I look at, I'll throw some of these companies out there, just some hardware companies that have started making plugins. Empirical Labs, everything they've done with the Arouser LT,
Stressor.
Yeah, well, that's basically what the Arouser is kind of supposed to be in the plugin.
The Arouser.
But
so
yeah,
hold on, Empirical. So no, hold on.
UA makes the distressor.
The distressor. Okay.
Yeah, Empirical Labs. But Empirical Labs themselves, they have their own set of plugins that they've done.
Okay. They because everybody's bid off the distressor like so much, I get confused. It's like everybody wants to make a distressor, like and rightfully so. Yeah. I mean that when I'm in the studio and there's a distressor there, I'm using it. Like I am going to use it, especially if I got a pair and I can throw them on a drum bus. Oh hell yeah! yeah, I'm finna use the distressor though. But so hold on. So let me get this right. Distressor, no, the original distressor is by who? Just refresh my
Empirical
memory.
Labs, yeah.
Empirical Labs. Right. So but who made the arouser?
Empirical Labs.
So they made the distressor but made the arouser.
Yeah, the arouser is their compressor plugin. It's not a distressor one for one, but it's
Gotcha.
their version of a compressor and a plugin.
Gotcha.
Quick story for I forget about using distressors on drum bus at Art Institute Studio. I used to hit them bitches so hard, dust would come from the ceiling. I swear to God.
In nuke mode.
Yes.
In nuke. Yes, you gotta use the nuke. It was just the fact that we had it and we could do it. It was just like, I am going to do this. But I'm gonna interject something right here just to say that it's like, man, we've taken hardware for granted. And I say that because the joy of having something like in the studio that you can touch, and having that thing, it was great. It was a great feel. But now that everything's gone to a plug-in, it's like, oh yeah, I got one of those. I got this, and now we can throw 30 of them in one session now. And I just think, man, and to go back to answer this question, it's like, is making plugins going to be the new trend? I think plugin companies are going to hop on this model because it is, again, a money making generator. They can put their stamp on this plugin and people are going to buy it where people can't buy the hardware version. But here's a caveat to that is, okay, now if I can buy your plugin, why am I going to spend $1,500 on your hardware?
Right. And I agree with that too.
See, but here's the thing though. I mean, once again, to go back to different tiers of clients, like there are some people who have the budget where it's like, okay, I know there's a plugin version available, but I'm still going to buy the hardware for whatever those reasons are.
Raise your hand high, sir. Yeah. Yes, you are who he's speaking of.
I mean,
I swear, bro. I wish I had that.
We also got to think about stuff that's not being produced anymore. Like, here's a company I think did a great job, and this is why their competitors are losing. Yamaha. I mean, not Yamaha. Korg made like a complete replica of the Triton with all the patches in it.
Yeah. I still have my Triton though.
I still have my Triton too.
I still have my Triton though.
Yamaha hasn't done it for the motif.
They should have, and I'm mad they haven't though.
And Roland hasn't done it for the Phantom. And I'm like,
if they make the plug-in,
oh, bro, I mean,
it's over.
And it's people that's always trying to make versions of it where they got one and they'll sample some of them, but it's nothing like if it was coming straight from the source. Like, I got the demo of that Court Trading joint. Like, no, it's every sound. It's legit. Yeah. And the motif, before I started making beats, my brother in our Christian rap group, he used to make all the beats on a motif. So, bro, I still got beats from the motif. I'm like, yo, I wish he still had that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm gonna throw some other companies out there, hardware companies that make plugins. Kush. Kush started out making hardware. Now they make plugins. And
I love
some of these.
So.
Yeah, some of these companies. I'm also mentioning, since they've done more plugins, haven't really gone back to hardware. I can't think of the last Kush hardware product.
I can't either. They've been still selling like their legacy stuff. Now I will say one company though that I don't know what is it? They make the box
API
Mac DSP.
Oh, make DSP. Okay.
Make DSP. Are they their stuff is that's not originally their stuff though, is it?
What you mean?
I've seen their plugins, but I'm just saying, are those like hardware emulations, or is this like are they remaking stuff, or is this their own plugins?
That's what I love about McDSP is they haven't cloned anything. I have pretty much all of their plugins. I have not updated to the latest version. I actually checked the other day, and it's expensive, and I'm like, I don't use them that much to update them. But
To update.
Like the ultimate compressor, where you got like 10 compressors in one. Yeah, they got an opto, they got an FET, which we know what they're obviously based off of, but they're not doing, hey, this is our LA2A, this is our 1176, this is our Neve.
They got a box though.
That's exactly what you're talking about, APB.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they should make that in a plugin. Give me that in a plugin that I can run all my tracks through, like something like that. Because I feel like the reason why that I think the word you use, trend, is the correct word, because marketing has killed everything, and we've thrown these words around for so long, like analog vibe. Get that analog sound. Warmth. And I think the warmth, exactly. Like those words have triggered the plug-in craze from hardware companies. They're just like, if you want that warmth that you get, if you want that punch that you get from the API, then like you can get it now in a plugin. But I guess my thing is we're all chasing that sound. And honestly, and correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't really found any plugin that really gives you the body and the warmth and the detail as analog does. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Right, there's some good ones out, but that's still, if I can, I prefer the hardware. I want to jump back for a second, just for anybody who doesn't understand what McDSP APB is. This is probably one of the coolest products I've seen in the decade. However, it is crazy expensive.
I want $6,000.
When I saw the price, it turned me off. But
I want one.
And then when they first came out with it, they came out with the 16-channel one. Then they came out with the 8-channel one, which is still expensive. But what the product is, think of a hardware box, rack mountable. It's one rack space, the 16-channel and the 8-channel. But this box has, I don't think there's any tubes in it, but basically what the box does is allows you to, I'm sure there's definitely transformers in it, but what the box allows you to do is use this line of plugins that McDSP makes. You're using a plugin, but it's using the processing from that box to where it's actually running through analog circuitry. Right. So you're getting the sound of hardware, you're getting the perks of hardware in the digital format by the plugins. Like that, when I saw that, like that was crazy. I was like, whoa.
But, so it's the same thing as what API, Neve did with the summing box. Or like UAD. I think UAD is the one that made the summing plugin.
Summing plugin.
Because UAD from Neve, they have a summing plugin to where it acts kind of like, I think is it Luna proprietary?
I don't see.
They made changes to Luna though.
My thought,
because at first, go ahead, Czar.
No, I was just saying, you can call anything digital analog summing all you want to, but that's capped to me because you're not doing anything outside of the box. You're not doing anything in analog if you're digital.
Right. And so, but again, I think that's where the marketing has gotten, we call it a trend because the market has pretty much gave us these words that make us think like, oh yeah, we're getting that analog sound. Like, but I mean, I said we've come a long way as far as digital recreation to where the code now does manipulate the sound where it gives you those kind of characteristics. you know, I'm one of those people where like, man, if it sounds good, then it's good. And I'm there with it. I just wish we would stop with the marketing gimmicks. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm tired of the gimmicks. I'm tired of we throwing around these words to make people just buy. Like it's digital, bro. It's freaking digital. It's ones and zeros. Like I have yet to find any piece of any plugin that really replicates what you get from hardware.
Like I agree, and because I'm kind of sick of the marketing too, because like if once you do this for so long, you can kind of read through it when you read like the marketing.
Absolutely.
Because one thing that kills me is mastering grade. We have mastering grade converters, mastering grade components, and I'm like, okay, what spec does this now become mastering grade? But we mentioned UA. That's another company. UA was a hardware company. They, of course, they are today known more for their plugins than hardware. And when was the last piece of hardware you seen UA make? I mean,
they made the last piece of hardware they made was the guitar amp sim.
Oh yeah, but that was designed to go with like the Apollo, wasn't it?
Nah,
I mean,
it's a standard. It's a hardware, but I haven't seen a plug-in for that. I haven't seen a plug-in for that piece of hardware, and I'm gonna have to do some research on like what that piece is, though. But it's definitely I haven't seen a plug-in version of that.
That's who could be killing it right now. Like they could be making. They have made hardware in the past. Think if UA made a LA2A 1176 or whatever, and they made it plug-in controllable to connect directly to their DAW.
Yeah,
and combine that with their popularity right now.
So yeah, they're called the UA effects pedals. I don't know if they make these in plug-in formats, like, but they have the UA plug-in pedals, but they also have, man, I'm looking for so it's called the OX amp top box. And so that's the only thing that I've seen from them that hasn't been replicated in a plug-in version though. But I think if they did make a plug-in version of that, it would be dope though. But I think they make other stuff that kind of resembles that. But that's
Hey, but before we get too far, I do got to go back and kind of amend one of my statements. So I mentioned how Korg makes the trading plugin. I was like, there's no Yamaha motif, there's no Roland Phantom plugin, which is true. But I don't want to just completely poop on Roland, because Roland does make software version for a lot of their classic synths.
XP60?
That could be one of them. I'm looking at the JV1080, the XV5080, the D50, the Juno. So they make it for a lot of them, just
the
not
Jupiter
the fancy.
too.
Not the one we want. Not
right. Exactly.
I'm gonna put it like this: not the one for us.
Yeah, and I think like the keyboards, man, just they don't ever put every patch in those plugins. Like I'm sorry, like cause like on my Triton, I haven't looked at the plugin version of the Triton, because I have the actual keyboard and had it since they made it. But the combinator patches inside of the Triton on the keyboard are dope as hell. They sound better than some of the patches that are actually in the keyboard. Like those combinator patches like are dope, and only because they move though. They have other stuff that's layered on top of them and you can play them. And I've used a lot of those to make some beats. They don't never really do like the combinator patches. They'll give you like the keyboards, the brass, the basses, and all that other stuff. But like some of that extra little stuff, like they don't get it.
You can do it. Like so I've used the Triton plugin. Like they had the thing where you can layer like 4 different sounds in it.
Okay. It's interesting. I mean, because I definitely love using my Triton for some stuff. Now, the only thing I will say about Triton that I hate, the sounds. I don't know if it's just the converters inside the Triton, but they don't sound great. Like the converters coming out of the Triton, like they sound very dull. They don't really have a lot of body to them. That's one thing I didn't like about the Triton sounds, where they just really kind of sound kind of flat, like the pianos and stuff. Whereas like the motifs, like those pianos are beefy, like they big, they're bold, like and the converters in them, like when you record out of a real motif, bro, like they got body. And the Triton just didn't get it for me. Now it's funny, the Triton Studio doesn't, but the Extreme does though.
And I think that makes sense, because I'm sure
and the plugin
Triton
come with the Extreme too.
Yeah.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, because I'm pretty sure the Triton was the first one out of all of those, and then I don't know what came next between the Phantom and Motif, but then the Triton Extreme came after those. So I mean, it's probably basically using not newer technology, but newer converters or whatever.
Converters, yeah. I really hate the converter thing. Like, man, I'm just like, man, why don't these pianos sound like when I play like a motif or something? Like, they don't sound that big though. But what I will say, that I liked about what Yamaha did, they were the first ones to put their sounds in a rack mount. And I haven't seen like a lot of people, or I haven't really seen rack mounts of any of these other things. Like, I think Roland has a rack mount.
Triton had one.
Did they?
The OG Triton. I haven't seen a Triton Studio or Triton Extreme in rack mount, but the OG Triton did have a rack mount.
If I can find another rack mount motif, bro, I'm copying that. I'm gonna have to go on Reverb or something, see if I can get one.
I'm gonna throw out another company out there. This is one that's still doing hardware and doing plugins. SSL.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that was a good move from SSL, because I was waiting on them for like a long time, because everybody was biting off SSL, and I just think the success with the bus comp from Waves and SSL is just like, why are we giving out like all this stuff when we can just make our own things like in house? You know what I'm saying? And like it was about time for SSL to do like their own thing, which I feel like so if you get the Slate package and you pay, I think, a little extra, you actually get the SSL plugins, and you get the Harrison stuff with Czar. I know you're a big fan of the Harrison plugins. You get all of those in like your licensing for so I thought that was pretty dope. So I definitely that's one reason why I keep Slate Audio around, just because I get the Harrison and the SSL stuff, because honestly I don't even really use like Slate anymore. I'm sorry. So
that brings up the next question then. Should companies outsource their plugins or make them in-house? Because you know a lot of companies will get like Softtube or UA to make their version of their hardware, which is fine. Those are very popular companies, but yeah, I don't know. Which is kind of what I thought Heritage Audio was doing at first, until I spoke to them and found out they're doing theirs in-house too, which is
are they really?
Yeah, they're the successor, the Symphony Q, which has been their hardware. Now they're in plugin format. The Brit Strip is one I just did video for.
Yeah, I saw you do that one. So that's is that in their plug-in package from Slate too? Is that in there?
No, Heritage Audio, that's totally separate. And that's Heritage Audio.
Oh, Heritage. I'm thinking
Heritage.
Okay. Sorry.
Because these plugins the interfaces they came out with last year allows you to use those plugins as DSP. But now they've made them native, so anyone can use them. You don't have to have the Heritage Audio interface to use them now.
I'm gonna definitely have to check them out, man. I never really, I never was big on Heritage Audio, but after your video, I definitely started looking at their stuff, and I think I'm gonna buy me a 500 series chassis from them. Speaking of like hardware. But you know what? Speaking of, I wish plug-in companies would make a 500 series version of their plugins.
Some people kind of do.
Yeah, the only people that I've seen do that is IK Multimedia.
Okay, yeah.
They have the mix box.
Yeah, I was thinking
where they
that.
have some of their plugins in a rack mount looking plugin. I know Mac DSP makes one.
That's another one I was gonna say.
But I like it because you can have these plugin chains and you can have all those plugins in a chain, and then you can wet dry mix them and like have a little bit of that, which I am very thankful for Waves with their Studio Rack. I think Studio Rack is one of the very underutilized utility plugins that are out there, because you can actually take third-party plugins and make a chain out of it, and you can save those chains. And I think and I tell people about you don't use Studio Rack, and it's like, what is that? And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Studio Rack is so underrated, bro. I'm mad now that I bought the Blue Cat Audio thing.
That's a very underrated move that Waves did, because they didn't have to do that. They absolutely didn't have to do that.
They didn't though, but the fact that you can use other like VSTs in that, I was just like, that's super dope. That's super dope. And and that's the only thing I kind of mix in now. Like, you just see Studio Rack on all my inserts now, and like I just put all my plugins inside the Studio Rack. But I digress from that.
Another 500 series type plugin, underrated. Check out Noise Ash Prestige racks.
Yes, I wanted that, but I was like, do I really need it? It was one of them things. It was just like, I already have Mixbox. I can already do this and with the Studio Rack. Are these plugins going to bring any more to the table?
It was impulse buy for me because it was like $19 or something.
Exactly. And I saw that. I was like, it's only $20.
Like it's like,
it's $20. I was like, but I'm sick of buying crap that I'm never going to use.
Message.
I feel you on that.
I'm sick of buying crap. I was looking at Kive. Was it Kive? Keeve? Is it Kive?
I know what you're talking about. I don't have any of their plugins, but I know what you're talking about.
They had the Distinct Pro, and it was only like, oh, we noticed that you didn't have any of our paid for plugins. You have our free stuff. How about this one for $29? And I was just like, that whole marketing, man. I was just like, that's funny. Like, we see you have our free stuff. Have you tried our paid stuff? It's like, okay. But I actually thought about it. But again, it was another one of them things where it's just like, get analog vibe. You get this saturator that give you that analog feel. Now I will say, man, saturation is pretty much where it's at. Cause honestly, just on a mix tip, I don't think it's the plug-in, it's not the EQs, it's not the compressor that really gives you the analog vibe. It's really when it comes to the saturation. And if you can get a good I say invest in saturation. Invest in saturators. Get those. Those are I don't give a damn. You can use a stock EQ. But if you find a good saturator, that is what's gonna like really make your mixes pop. So I don't think.
What's your go-to saturation plugin? I know what mine is. What are y'all's?
I'm gonna let you go first. Oh, you need a moment to think.
Yeah, I need a moment to think because
okay. It depends on what it is. I'm like one of those case by case people. Decapitator is definitely up on my list.
Yes.
Decapitator's there. I'm a big fan of Isotope. The Isotope. Damn it! It's not in front of me.
In the channel strip.
It's in the channel strip.
Neutron.
It's not Neutron. It's the Ozone.
Okay.
Ozone. Dude, you're gonna make me pull up the DAW and look at it. Why can't I think of it right now, dude? My goodness.
Well, I'm thinking about it. We definitely need to do an episode on forgotten plugins that we're using. I haven't done an episode in a while, but I've maybe done 6 or 7 of them where I highlight a plugin that I have that I didn't know that I had because I just haven't used it in so long. Or, yeah, thinking the saturators for me, decapitator, McDSP analog channel. I like that one. Waves, vitamin.
Oh,
love
yeah,
that
ozone
one.
exciter.
Okay.
The exciter. Yes, I love the ozone exciter. Yeah, that's me.
The magma tube from Waves. I really like that. It can be subtle, but I like it. Sometimes is the soft tube one, tape harmonics or harmonics. It's just called harmonics. Kit Plugins has a free one called Burrier. I like that one. Denise Audio has one called God Mode, which is like a multi-band one that you can do EQ curves with the saturation too.
Yeah. Did you say you said Baby Audio?
I said Denise Audio.
No, Baby Audio has that the VHS. Have you had? Anybody use that?
Yes.
The VHS,
Super
VHS one, the Super VHS. Oh man, like that thing is nasty, especially for. It can go subtle, but it can definitely go crazy. Whatever algorithm they have in their Super VHS, definitely it can get dirty, but it definitely has a body of its own, and you can do some really like trashy stuff with that. I love using it in a parallel processor. Like if I want to like dirty up a vocal, just to put some grit underneath it, I put it on a bus end and just send to it, and then just kind of like mix that grime in, especially with rap vocals. It just adds like a different fatness and texture to it for me.
Heritage Audio. Well, we just got through talking about them. They just came out with the tape saturator. That's really nice. I'll be having some content. On
but
that
why for me, bro? No tape plugins really. They don't really saturate sound for me, or maybe I'm doing it wrong.
I mean,
this one will.
It's very subtle.
This one will.
It's so subtle. It's just like, what I will say, it does bring out the low end and a lot of stuff. Now, if I use like anything tape simulated, like on the drum bus, I definitely feel like the fatness of the low end. But I never really get like the harmonic characteristics that I really be looking for out of just like a regular tape plugin.
Speaking of tape, Baby Audio tape is another good one.
Is it really?
Too, that can add some. Yeah, some tape plugins are meant to, just run through them, but then some of them you can really drive them. And the Heritage Audio one you can drive. That tape one from Baby Audio you can drive it and really get some color out of it.
I think what we need to say for our listeners, because Ichiai, you've been thinking of this when you've given your answers, we just haven't said it. As far as choosing a tape saturator plugin, it depends what goal are you going for, right? Like even the different names y'all have given, you probably would use certain ones to accomplish certain goals. So for me, as far as in a mixing situation, as far as just adding a little extra bump, the one name I ain't heard nobody say, probably because this is beneath Czar, is like it's not even on his radar.
I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
You already know because I've said it before in other episodes.
It's been 6 seasons and he's still using the same one.
The soft tube one,
soft tube saturate. That joint is fire, bro. That joint is fire.
I already knew where he was finna go, bro.
Damn.
I knew it.
I'm like, man, how did nobody mention that one? I mean, for me, it's just, yeah. What were you gonna say?
When you hear someone using the same plugin 6 years later,
what,
bro? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Fix
man.
it.
It do sound good.
It think about it. You still got hardware from 6 years ago, right?
True.
So, I mean, So in the context of a mix, I always throw it on my subgroups. So when I'm mixing a full song or even just a beat, I create 3 subgroups. One for my rhythm section, one for my vocal section, if it has vocals, and one for my instrumentation section. And I throw a soft tube saturation knob on that. Now, if I'm trying to distort some 808s or something, then I might mess with Decapitator. It just depends. But I do have Decapitator.
Now, we'll say, though, a lot of these 808 plugins that you have now, they've built that saturation inside of the plugins now without the need for any third-party processing, which I think is pretty dope. You kind of can get all that in one plugin. Now, here's another company that is so under everybody's radar, but I think they do a very good job at console emulation, and the fact that you get a lot of drive is Sonomus. A lot of people haven't heard of Sonomus yet. Sonomus makes a very good they make a very good console emulator. They have emulation of a brick console, a Statson console, Neve, and API. And what I love about it is I always start my mixes off with their plugin because it's a great gain staging plugin. It has a VU meter on the front end. But what I love about it too is also you can turn, instead of using the volume, using the slider as an up and down volume control, it can actually it has a gain compensation on it that you can turn the slider into, and you can drive it like you drive like the front of a preamp. And like the characteristics that I get out of their plugin, bro, it's just like, it's crazy. And you can group it too. So you can put this plugin on every channel, like in your drum group. And then there's there's the strip, and then there's the bus. And so on that bus, you will have like group 1. Like, let's drive group 1. So everything in group 1, instead of you having to do it on each individual track, you can all do it from the bus level. And it's going to push every instance of that you have in that group up, and it's going to drive it. And you can go like subtle, or you can go hot. They got a warm setting and they got a hot setting. And so it's like, if you really want to saturate this group, like it pushes it, and it just gives you some very nice body out of it. And I love that. And I think you can do the same thing. I think NLS from Waves kind of has that same kind of concept. But I mean, like the stuff that I've heard from Sonomus, man, I've actually reached out to him, and I showed him some stuff, and I actually did a review on my YouTube channel, and they were just like, thank you for that. But people don't know about Sonomus, man. They make some very good plugins, which is they don't make hardware. They don't have hardware, and but they make some very good. But if you look at it, you kind of know again, kind of what they modeled their stuff after. But there one thing, the Satson CS, it's a EQ, it's a gain staging section, it's an input section, there's a compressor section, and then there's a channel is a EQ strip section, and you can kind of mix and match. So like, if you want to go through the EQ first, then the comp, then like the end stage, they have that all built into one like plugin. But shout out to Sonomus, man. Like they make some very good hardware, quote unquote, emulation stuff, man. And I want to shout them out while we're here though. But very good drive on their console stuff.
Let's kind of pull it back on topic here. Oshay, let me get your answer.
Yeah.
What do you think about companies doing plugins in-house versus outsourcing them? Because I mean, I can see the pros and cons of each one.
Yeah, I think starting off, outsourcing makes sense, because if your specialty is hardware, like, don't spend time trying to get good at something that you have no experience with. Focus on being great at what you're already good at. I think over time, it would make sense to kind of maybe develop an in-house team. So that way, you know what I'm saying, you're minimizing your expenses while increasing your revenue by not having to outsource. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's like, I mean, if you're going to do it, just be dope at it. Like, don't do something and then not be dope at it and then say, oh, well, you know, this is not my usual thing. It don't matter. You stepped on the court. If you were sick and you couldn't play, you shouldn't have stepped on the court. Once you step on the court, it ain't no excuses.
Yeah.
I kind of jumped analogies for a second, but y'all get it.
You got it. All right, so let's.
But I just want to go back to that real quick though. Like, you know, my question is, you know, for plug-in companies, like, do you have the resources to do that though? You dig what I'm saying? Just like
to make them in-house,
really? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just like, because like, do you have a coder on your team? You know what I'm saying? Do you have the person that really can, you know, because there's a lot that goes into the plugin. Like you got, you know, the algorithms that are in the background. Not only that, you have your GUIs that you got to make. And but here's my thing though, just like the whole process of making a plugin is like very detailed and in depth, because you have to get all the non-linearities that hardware gives you, and you have to compact that into like ones and zeros. And it's just like, do you really have, like, you know, it's cool, bro, when you using components, you know what a transformer is going to do. You know what this diode is going to do in this scenario. But how do you say to this program, you know, oh, if they do this or do that, give it this sound. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, do you have that person? And how, and I'm very interested on how companies actually do that in the algorithm. Yeah, how do they model that? I know I think Joey Sturgis, is that the company that has the tracer plug-in where you can actually trace your hardware and put it in plug-in format? Like, it will, like, you can run it through. Yeah, so there's a company, I want to say it's Joyce. I may be wrong, man, but there's a company that you can actually model your own hardware, and like those non-linearities that you get from your hardware, you can have the plugin react to your material based on what's happening in your hardware. Because they have like this thing called Tracer. I know it's called Tracer, but Tracer will actually go through the hardware that you got, feed back into the plugin, and it will read like the plugin, and it will give you just pretty much an algorithm, just like, okay, here's your compressor from Warm Audio. So, okay, I'm gonna use the Warm Audio preset, and then like now I can use my compressor, and it's gonna give me the characteristics of if I was using the hardware. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just curious on like, how do plugin companies actually go through that, do that, and then like put it into a plugin? And do you have the people on the back end to do that? Because I'm just like, most of these people outsource from like India or something, or somewhere. But I just feel like if you have that person in house to do that, you know, I think you get your best bet. So I just don't think plugin companies really have the resources.
I mean, hardware companies.
Yeah, I don't think hardware companies just have the resources to do that. Now, if this company, they have the resources, but if they weren't such assholes, they would be so good at it. And y'all know who I'm about to say. The industry standard.
Pro Tools?
Pro Tools. If they weren't such dicks, they would actually could be at the forefront of this whole thing. But they are so fucking money hungry, grubby little crumb snatchers.
Tell them how you feel. Tell them why you mad, son.
I'm just saying now, I am sick of Avid, bro. I am sick. When Avid brought in those venture capitalists at that company is going straight down. Everybody is turning away from Pro Tools. Everybody. And I want to thank Czar on this podcast and thank him for putting me on the Studio One. I haven't looked back since. I've been a Studio One head like ever since, man. And I'm thankful for that, because Avid sucks now, man. But I will say, if they would actually do right by the community that loves them so much, they could actually be at the forefront of having like some of the best plugins, you know. But okay, I'm done.
So let's before we get out of here, let's do some quick hitters. Let's start with what hardware company would not surprise you if they started making plugins?
Neumann.
They don't
Like
make a
Neumann.
plugin?
I don't. Not that I know of. I mean,
What
because I'm
what
so I'm talking about
hardware? You
like
talking
the
about
mic.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, because I think I mean
I can see that. With their
obviously
popularity with the U87, I can see that.
yeah. I mean, because you still
Like a
get
mic mod?
But they would have to come out with a mic for that, right?
Like a mic mod?
Yeah, basically, so stepping into the space that Slate Audio, that Townsend Labs have already kind of populated.
I just only think that's weird to me because they already make microphones, because they would have to make a different microphone.
But once again, it goes back to what we're saying about accessibility. If they wanted to make their stuff more accessible, because here's the thing, even if you haven't used it, like me growing up, before I even got to touch certain gear and stuff, I read magazines, so I never used the SP1200, but I knew what it was. I never used the MPC 60, but I knew what it was. I had never recorded on a U87, but I knew what it was. It wasn't accessible.
On second thought, I can see it, because if they made one mic that could emulate the U87, the U67, the TLM, so yeah, I get it. I can see that.
Hey, game over, son. Do you hear me though? Like if they do that because they hear this podcast, bro, like they need to give you dividends on
right?
Them, because that would be a game changer. Because you know, like how many people want a U87, bro? Like so straight up.
And here's the thing, they will have the advantage because, like we said, there's already replicas out there hardware. We got the Warm Audio and every other boutique manufacturer. We got the software. What all those other things don't have, to my knowledge, is the cosign and the endorsement of the original manufacturer, Neumann.
Yeah.
So if Neumann say, you know what, forget y'all, we're going to show you how it's done because we invented this. That, man, you automatically got respect factor and credibility.
Sony could do that too with that. What's that one mic?
CA100.
Yeah, that one, like the one that's supposed to be like the microphone for rap vocals.
That's just one mic though. Like Neumann has a catalog though.
Yeah, it's also true. But I'm just saying they could come out with something that maybe it's just a plugin. Maybe it's a plugin that will just emulate, those characteristics of that microphone. I mean, even if it's just that one, I mean, how many hits does it take for you to be great?
Yeah.
One, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get mine out the way real quick. Who I would like to see make a plugin.
Now, who would you not be surprised if they made one? Who would not surprise you?
No. Who I want to see make a
He said, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer it.
We're going to get to that question.
You ain't going to paint me in no corner?
No, but okay. All right. To answer your question, who I wouldn't be surprised to see, okay, it's twofold. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it, but I want them to. Mm-hmm. Can I just do it like that?
Okay.
Black Lion.
If they made
if Black Lion thought about it, and if they would take like the converters and stuff, because we all know Black Lion always mod stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They have their own specialty converters and whatever else they put in stuff. Like they'll put stuff in your Apollo, from what I've read. Which I was like, damn, for real? You can get like a Black Lion Apollo? Like, that's dope as hell. But if they would take whatever converters that they used and put those into a plugin where you can actually run through their converters, I wouldn't be surprised if Black Lion did that. I feel like that's another one of those companies, man, that just solely kind of makes hardware that kind of slept on. they do have a nice little fan following.
Yeah.
But if they got into the plug-in space, I think that'll be dope.
But they have enough hardware that they make that could be dope plugins too. Like they're the only ones who make. It's the I forget the name of the model, but it's basically 1176 on one side and the LA2A on the other side.
You can use them in tandem?
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can run one into the other or the other into the other one. The only thing about it is it requires routing in the back. Like I wish there was almost a patch bay back there where you can just flip a switch and do it. But
yeah,
to have an LA2A and 1176 in the same box is like, that's one of them things that I'm like, how come nobody else thought about this?
That's
but
true.
They got, Black Lion has obviously, compressors, EQs, mic pre. So yeah, it'd be cool to definitely see that in plug-in format. I agree with you there.
Now, my question is though, somebody I wouldn't be surprised to do it. Other people have put their name on their stuff, but why hasn't API done that? I don't think they have their.
Stole my thunder, but yes, I'll feel too.
That's funny.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I could see them doing it because you're right. You got UA Waves, which API has officially endorsed. So yeah, they definitely could go down the route. And
I mean, if you think about it, none of those big plugin, none of those big hardware companies like API, like they've just pretty much been like, you know what, we're gonna let you put our name on it, but we're not gonna make it. Like Neve, I don't think Neve has their own product line.
No,
I don't think API doesn't. They don't.
There's so many different Neve companies too. It's like, which one is the real one? So
is it really?
I mean, you got AMS Neve, you got what's this another one I'm thinking of? Yeah, I mean you got Rupert Neve Designs themselves. Now I guess that's the real ones, Rupert Neve Designs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually, I think they do have plugins, but I think they're only available. Oh, now I'm gonna have to look them up. I think they do have plugins. That would be really cool if Rupert Neve Designs like their Dial Bridge compressor from the 500 series and their EQ and the Shelford channel. If those came, I didn't think about that. That would, if those came in plugin formats, those would definitely be dope.
And it's funny though, because I just think this conversation was kind of geared around, I know what the question was, but it was just like, who would we like to see make their own? And it's just like, well, they have plugins out, but they don't make them. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I think that's another way just to think about it, though. It's just like, yeah, API has plugins out there, but API doesn't make those plugins. Right. Now, just think about if API would really just sit down and be like, okay, what else could we bring to the table on top of the stuff that's already out from other people?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
What they could do, because now they've came out with the API Select brand, which I really like. I've got the hardware compressor. I got the API 2 hardware compressor. I also have the JDK V12, which became the API Select VCA compressor. They could do those in plugin format, and those, because like you say, you already have API plugins that UA and Waves does. So
right.
API, it wouldn't make sense for them to remake those same plugins that are already out there. So they would have to do something different. That API, that API Select brand would be something different for sure.
But I guess it's kind of like the same thing what SSL did, though. SSL, like they got the bus compressor from Waves. They also had the, I forget what it's called in UA, but they came out with a whole nother name for it in their own line. I forget what SSL calls their bus compressor
now
in their line.
Now, question though, so let's go back to API. API did their own plugins where you have API plugins from API. Do you respect that more, or is that more appealing to you than API plugins from big companies like SoftTube or UA or Waves?
I say yes.
Think so? What about you, Oshay?
Repeat the question again. I'm sorry.
So which if API get off the internet. If API
Yeah, that's really what I need to see. That's why we need to be back in person, man. If we was in person, I would not be distracted by looking up stuff on the internet.
Yeah, so if API made their own plugins, would it be more appealing to you that these are API made plugins, or would it be more appealing to you the plugins API has from big companies like UA, Waves? I don't think so. Yeah, SoftTube doesn't have any API plugins, but Waves and UA are two of the biggest plugin companies out there. They've got the respect. So if API made their own so I guess I'm saying which is bigger, the name, the company, the hardware company API, or Waves and UA?
I feel like my answer is going to contradict what I said earlier, but I feel like the benefit of the doubt will have to go to the company who has the longer track record in that space, right?
Okay,
So if we're in the software space, this brand has already established a market share. This brand has already established trust, right? But I think if it was a different plugin that maybe they didn't license, so it was like, so let's say API, let's just say theoretically they're holding some back, right? Like, yeah, there's software versions of other stuff, but let's say it's this one piece that they've never fully licensed to a company, and they say, we're going to take this one ourselves. There's nowhere else you can get it. Then that, that might at least change the thought process.
Yeah, because I asked.
Go ahead, Czar.
Yeah, I asked because I'm not 100% sure this, because like I said, I wasn't completely into NAMM, but I didn't even see nobody talk about this yet, but the Avalon 737 SP, who we all know.
And UA got a version of that.
UA has a version of that. At NAMM, they were showing off a gold 737. It's their 40-year anniversary version. Gold 737. If you can imagine that. It, of course, originally has the silver. It's originally silver. So this limited edition one was gold. And I believe I heard him say that they were coming out with some plugins soon, or looking to make plugins. I don't quote me on that, because I was kind of eavesdropping, but I believe I heard him say that. So, but Avalon hasn't made anything new in forever. So, but we already have a 737 from UA. So,
nah, but I'm gonna tell you who killing the 737 on the plugin front. Cash Rock.
I've never heard of that.
I haven't heard of that,
bro.
I ain't gonna lie, that sound real hood fabulous, man. Cash Rock.
Cash Rock has a 737 that with some extra features on it, and
I like extra features.
Extra features on the 737, where it's kind of like the UA version is kind of pretty much a replica of the 737, the Avalon. Cash Rock added like a few more bells and whistles.
Wait a minute, hold on.
The front of that.
Hold on, are you saying Cash Rock?
So Kaz, KAZ. ROG. So Cash Rock is the same company that came out with K-Clip. If you're familiar, if you're familiar with K-Clip, they actually make a 737 plugin, and it's supposedly from their website, and from what I read before I bought it, it is made in conjunction with the people at Avalon. So it's definitely it has their name on it for sure, but they've added some extra stuff in like the compressor section and the side chain section. Does the original 737 have a side chain into the compressor?
They changed the name of it too.
I don't think so. And actually, I'm looking now.
They call this joint a 747.
That's a 747. That's different. Yeah, the 747 is like a stereo compressor EQ, like for your master bus, basically. So yeah, that is something.
This is a different line.
Yeah, okay. This is a different product. But I mean, I understand what you said, because it does look like a 737.
It does, and I was like, okay, but because at the point I was just like, do I spend the money on a Cash Rock or do I spend the money on the UA version?
Mhm.
And so I chose the cash rock because of the sidechain section. I really like what it did in the sidechain section going into the compressor, and the EQ and the EQ functions on the 747. Was it four? Is it you said 437? That's what it was.
747.
47.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I really like that. So that was the one. I had a point that I was going to say, okay, what if, as far as, companies making plugins, what if they did kind of like Empirical Labs did, though? It's like, we're going to come out with this model that other companies have, but we're going to change the name. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like they did with the Rouser, which is kind of like of a distressor type thing, but we're gonna call it something different. But again, to answer another point that you had made up, I feel like if the company is the one doing it, I feel like you get a more one-to-one kind of scenario. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's what I would hope. I would go for the company that made the hardware that made the plugin, because if you made it, like, you should be able to get me closer to the hardware than anybody else out there.
And
like, why would I put my trust in a third party company over the company that actually made the hardware?
Track record. Just because you made the hardware doesn't mean that you know your way around software. So that's what I'm saying. I think it depends on the team that they bring in. If anything,
I see that.
I would see if I could. I don't want to say
steal the engineer. No, steal the software engineer.
There we go.
We're gonna.
I'm trying to find a way to say it.
Ain't no way around that, dog. Hey man, you know what? How much they paying you over here? Well, look, we want you to come over here and do this for like another 15, 20K. You know what I'm saying? To put this on market, and we're gonna give you residuals on the back end. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I think that's a smart move. I mean, companies do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like these big Fortune 500 hedge fund companies and everything else. I mean, why not bring that to the game? Now, here's what I want to see. Are we done with topics? Because I'm finna go off on a tangent just for like 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
No, because I never answered my question, but go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I'm done. I'm gonna bring this up later. Answer your question first.
So who I wouldn't be surprised if they made plugins. I'm gonna say Warm Audio. I wouldn't be surprised to see Warm Audio plugins.
They don't have a plugin?
No.
Keith makes a Warmy.
Oh, okay.
They make the Warmy EP. Was it EP1?
What about that?
It's a emulation of the Pultec.
I don't know about that.
So that's not from Warm Audio? Hold on.
No, Warm Audio doesn't have plugins to my knowledge.
I'm finna be like Oshay and look on the internet real quick. Okay, no, it's just called Warmy. That's all it is.
Okay.
So Kive has is it Kive or Keeve? I don't know. I feel like I'm pronouncing that shit wrong. But they make a Warmy, which is it's just a Pultec emulation though. But I thought maybe that was, they stole kind of like the Warm Audio thing. But okay.
Let me let's get this last question out the way, which Mike, you already answered, and you also stole my answer. So get your answer, Oshay. I guess you answered it. No, maybe you did. But what company would you like to see make plugins? What hardware company would you like to see make plugins?
So I feel like it's kind of the same question. You just tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. Would you not be surprised?
Who would you not be surprised by, and who would I want to see?
That's not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah.
Small variant.
I mean, we're splitting hairs here, but who cares?
Is there or is there a hardware that you would say, I wish I had this and plug in?
What? See, I would. So I'm thinking more. So I'm in production mode right now. So I'm thinking, what piece of gear? I mean, they already Roland makes a TR-808 plugin, like the authentic one from Roland. And of course, MPC has already went into the software space. Maybe a SP1200.
I know he was going to say
Is
that.
That Insonic? Who makes that?
Emu.
Okay, yeah.
But it's crazy because we just covered that this week in class. I'm trying to think. The only thing I think would be a drawback is there are already bit crusher plugins and filter options, even in machine, that try to give you that SP1200 sound. So I'm not sure if Emu created it themselves, how that would be different from what we already used to.
Well, producers who know that name would definitely interest them, because I'm not that much in production and I know what that is. So it's definitely popular.
So to piggyback off Oshay with you, I'm gonna tell you who would be dope if they made a software version of their hardware. The Roland SP404.
That's the sampler joint, right? The joint that looked like a huge calculator.
Yeah.
Hey,
if they made that in a software version, I think that would be dope. For a lot of people.
Doesn't Desiree have a 404?
I think she does. I think I seen her with a 404.
Yeah, she did say she had an SP something.
I want to say she made like a reel with it one time.
Yeah. I think she does.
That'll be dope though. Just to piggyback off what you just said though, as far as like the production wise. Yeah. I think that'll be cool if 404 made like a software version though.
Right. You know what I really want though? Like and I'll admit this is extra. This is not necessary at all. I get it. But I would, and I know they have versions of it, but I haven't seen some that I like. I wish that someone like Pioneer, either Pioneer, Newmark, like one of the vinyl turntable companies, collaborated. So this wouldn't be a brand new product, but like an update. Collaborated with like Serato or something and made like Serato sample, make it visually look like you're actually sampling a record. Once again, I don't think that would change the sound. That wouldn't change the sound. That wouldn't change the workflow. That would just be something cool I would like to see. One thing I don't like about Serato sample, and Serato sample is dope, but you have to load the audio file in. Like I wish. So this week in class, so our listeners know, so I teach a hip hop class at Belmont. And so we were looking at the limitations of something like the SP1200 that only had 10 seconds sampling time. And just talking about how all the unlimited hard drive space we have, all the things we have, doesn't necessarily make us make better music. And I was like, I wonder what it would be like if we had to create with those same limitations from the late 80s and 90s. So if there was like, so if a record player, or even if Emu, if they made a software version, then you would have to actually record the sample in. You couldn't just drop in whole MP3 files and pick and choose. It's like, no, you need to have an idea up front what you want to do and make a decision up front. So I think that would birth new innovative ideas, and I think that would force creators.
So you saying like put constraints around it to force you to actually make a decision. So you saying build it with constraints. Correct. It's kind of like what what DeepSeek did. I don't know if y'all been on that whole AI thing lately, but DeepSeek has made like a big splash in the AI space because of the constraints that they have in China around AI, and so they've built a AI model that really rivals Chat GPT, but with a fraction of the processing power. Like, so I don't know if people have just been into the AI thing, but it takes a lot of computing and a lot of high powered chips to do all the calculations and stuff that's required for AI and all those functionalities. And DeepSeek has made this breakthrough that they've done it with without the necessary chips that we thought were necessary for AI. And so DeepSeek just made a big thing. I don't know if people are up on that though, but
I've been kind of now.
Yeah, I've been kind of tracking like the AI space. So I've been investing in a couple of AI companies, and which leads me to my next point. I want to see plug-in companies involve AI into their workflow and to their plugins. Now, Sonable has already kind of done that. We know that Sonable has used AI algorithms to, I think they have a compressor, they have an EQ, and they have some other stuff. But what if companies like API, Neve, SSL, all these other companies used AI to create or to make, like, you know, your curves for you, or your moves, or your compressor levels. And right, so I think right now it's like, okay, hear me out real quick. Hear me out. You good? Hear me out real quick. Yeah, and that was prophetic of me ripping open Pandora's box right now, because I'm about to start something.
And I thought you were bringing us back on topic, but go ahead.
No, like
he did kind of say that. It's my fault. Nah, keep going, bro.
But check this out though. What if I was like, I'm API, and I was like, okay, I got this compressor, I got that 2500, right? What if I could make a prompt inside of that compressor to just say, I want this. I say, okay, here's the prompt. Make this kick drum punchy with more tail, and you tell it that, and now it sets the characteristics of that compressor to your desired prompt.
I got mixed feelings on it, and I'm a fan of AI. I use my preferred AI platform is Claude. My concern is that if it would end up taking more energy and more time doing that, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to just, because I treat AI like a personal assistant, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, when somebody's helping you, you can try to describe stuff to them, but sometimes just like, you know what? Let me get right there real quick. Let me do this real quick. Step out the way real quick, because I can do it quicker than I can.
Because you know what you want.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I think it could have definitely some benefits. But I can also see there'd be times where, like, you know what? I don't even feel like trying to figure out how to word this in a way that you can understand when I can just do it myself.
But now I agree with that. I agree with you, and because you have the knowledge of how to set parameters, right? How to set parameters inside of this so given plugin, and you know kind of like the sound what you're looking for. I think right now the reason why we have AI plugins is because we have so many bedroom producers, and we have so many novices that are coming to the space that are making great music You know what I'm saying? But they don't, when it comes to the mix side, they don't really understand a lot of the technical things. They don't understand about threshold. They don't understand about attacking. They don't understand about release and like all these other things though. But what I'm saying is, as a business model and having other people navigate and like migrate to your plugins, if you innovated that sort of prompt inside of your plugin, that could be a thing for newcomers into the space to really get a better sound. Now, I say that, and I'm kind of talking against myself because, you know, we as mixers and professionals, we spend a lot of time perfecting this craft. We fucked up a lot of mixes. We spent a lot of time learning about the tools that we use in this trade. But I'm purely talking this from a business model and just saying, you know, seeing new innovations inside of the software space that plugin companies could add if they wanted to bring it to market. And that's solely what I'm looking at.
I understand that. I'll say this, and then we got to get out of here. But because we're so far off topic. But
are we really? I think we're on topic.
No. Well, no. I do think I do think that's where plugins are going, where you say, hey, you know, hey Siri, make this vocal brighter, you know, and so I can get. Oh, shut up. Not y'all, the Siri.
It actually responded.
It did.
You don't have a vocal loaded.
So I definitely see that. I could also see an AI thing that you upload your mixes to, and you let the AI give you feedback. I could see that too.
Hey, can I say one thing real quick? I'm mad.
Tell them why you mad, son.
I'm mad because I haven't seen a check from Landar. And Czar, you probably know why.
We did talk about that. I remember, yeah.
Because in the infant stages of Landar, we both know this person that was on the front end of creating the algorithms for Landar. And this person asked me for beats to put into their machine learning. And I haven't seen a residual check from Landar. Like their AI model has my beat in it somewhere. multiple beats, and I haven't seen a check from them, so I'm mad.
Damn.
On that note, this is not going to be a perfect way to cut this off. We got to get out of here.
That's how you close the show out. Yeah, I like that. Leave on a funny high note.
I'm just saying, bro, like I need my 40 acres and a mule, bro. I need reparations. Nah, I'm kidding though. Hey man, but it's been a great time. I'm sorry if we got off on a tangent. And that's probably my fault. Cause my brain I'm like Elon. Like I got a whole lot of stuff going on in my brain.
I gotta find a sound effect that says reel it back in.
When I get a chance to talk, man, I got stuff on my chest, man. I'm sorry, bro. Like I just had to get it out though. And I appreciate y'all giving me a space to do it. But man, I feel like it was a very good topic though. And I feel like everything was still in kind of like the wheelhouse.
Everything.
I'm just saying, bro, I think people listen to podcasts just to see what kind of tension it goes on. Yeah. I watch Joe Rogan.
Well, definitely like to welcome everyone back to the start of season 6 of the Faders Up podcast. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Music, Spotify. Again, if y'all want to, if you got a question you want answered on the podcast, you can email us at fadersuppodcast@yahoo.com. Forgot to mention this earlier, but you can also join the discussion for this episode and more on our Facebook group, Faders Up Podcast. And yeah, we'll definitely be definitely the goal. Definitely going to stick to it to get more than 4 episodes out this year.
Right.
So I said I got a lot of guests lined up, people that's eager to come on. So yeah, we're gonna definitely make that happen. But all right, I'm Czar.
I'm Oshay.
It's your boy Mikey, man.
And we're gonna catch y'all next episode.
Peace.